Jeff Rowe from 2Hacks Garage. Well, it's an early morning, and if you saw in the last video, Jimmy and I were losing our minds working on this front cowl with the body panels.
I found mine out in the yard this morning.
Jimmy found his mine out in the yard. I still haven't found mine. A lot of off-camera brainstorming and talking. We did a part 1 of that, and this is going to be the part 2 of that. If you saw what we did in the previous video, we started kind of with a blank template of the cowl, and we just started working our way from the front to the back and making our own Zeus fasteners that are solid, that are going to provide us just a little bit more structural rigidity up in the front here. I got here, it's early morning. Jimmy's already over there making some more of those. We do somewhat have a game plan set up, so we might not lose our minds as much as we thought, but I'm sure there's going to be a point where we do. With that, guys, it's jumping jack flash, nostalgia front engine dragster. It's body panel time. It's cowl time. And it's going to be fun. There might be a friend of mine showing up to work on some other stuff. If he does, I'll show you what he's got going on. Smart guy, Pontiac guy, good friend of mine. And with that, we got Jimmy showing you something here. Yep, homemade Zeus fasteners. I'll show you kind of what that looks like.
Did he say douche fasteners a minute ago?
Deuce fasteners,
Oh,
Zeus fasteners.
Douche fasteners.
No.
What the hell
I think
is that?
Jimmy's lost his mind and he's lost his hearing. So with that, guys, I'm going to show you what we got going on with this. Just give me 1 second. See you in a few. All right. So what Jimmy was just showing you, he actually makes his own Zeus fasteners. If you look at it, well, yeah, we still use the regular ones for the chassis. But if you look here, this is a lot more solid. It's actually, a piece of steel that's a little bit thicker and all that. And the reason we're doing that is the engine plate is going to be for what the cowl mounts to. And we want that to be pretty solid throughout here. So what he does is he makes his own Zeus fastener. And as you can see, instead of welding on, these have been drilled and tapped, put in place. It's real solid. Here's the cowl that we've been working with, as you saw in the last video. So those lay down over that and get fastened. But what we got going on now is we need to figure out how we're going to attach it from here. Jimmy's already started doing some work and laid out where we're going to have some more Zeus fasteners here to hold everything together. I'm sure we'll add some other ones, but that's what we're working with, guys. We are going to lose our minds just a little bit today, but you know what? It's all worth it. We're learning. We're having fun. With that, you know what? We need to get to work. All right, so here's something neat. So where all the Zeus fasteners actually go in these different parts, since this car is going to get painted, Jimmy and I didn't pop rivet the springs in and all that in yet. What we were doing for a while is we were just using the spring in place, holding it, and every time we needed to take panels on and off, we were just doing it with a Zeus fastener and putting the spring in, just holding in place, kept doing that. Well, always room for improvement and learning. So what we did is bought a bunch of these screws here. It's recessed. It's the same recess as what these are in here. Well, let me find a blank one over here. Yeah, like right here. So this is the same diameter. It's the same recess. This makes things a whole lot quicker of just setting up body panels. Always learn something new. So we do on and off instead of doing the springs and the fastener itself without having to pop rivet in place. We're using this here, putting it in there and just hand tightening it with the bolts in the back. Jimmy's got a really cool Zeus fastener kit that he's putting together and bought a bunch of these. They come in really handy. Always learn something new. Always making things more efficient. See you in a few. All right, so Jimmy went ahead and got all his homemade heavy-duty Zeus fasteners done. I went over there and cleaned up the metal edges on these, but these are a lot thicker than the ones you buy. Our like I said, we're mounting this body to the actual engine plate up front here, and we're trying to make everything as rigid as possible. We're going to put these on the chassis itself. We're just really making this solid as possible. And one of the other reasons why we're making our own, not only because of we want it to be solid up there, we ran out. I went ahead and ordered some more. So between wanting to make it a little bit more solid and not having them when we need them, we made our own. And you know what? They turned out very well. A little bit of time, a little bit of effort, but you know what? It's worth it.
Another reason we did it like that too, because some of the roads in this state stink. And they didn't fall apart on a trailer.
Yeah, our roads do suck. But yeah, so yeah, these are our homemade Jimmy engineered Zeus fasteners. With that, I'm rambling. Jimmy's ready to work. It's time to get to work. See you in a few. All right, well, we got a guest star. This is Brian from BNR Racing. He is a Pontiac guy helping a Ford guy who's a Mopar guy working on a small block Chevy with a 4 9-inch rear end. So like I said, we're all losing our minds. Jimmy's over there putting some panels on. Brian came down to help me set up the center section. It's a strange unit. Like I said in previous video, it's got 370 gears. Not good enough for us. We need 430s. I bought it. He's really good at this stuff, very knowledgeable. And gave him a call, and he drove down, and he's going to help us out. Much appreciated. And one of these days, you're going to see one badass Pontiac on the road that he's got. What do you think, Jimmy? Should we go back to losing our minds?
I told you I found mine out in the yard, and I think I lost it somewhere in the driveway a few minutes ago.
So we're all going to lose our minds. Back to work. All right, so we got a whole lot of work going on here, and I don't want this to be like a 50-minute video. You can hear stuff going on in the background. Brian's working on that rear end. What Jimmy and I just did is we made a template because we already bead rolled this piece to try to transfer to the actual cowl. I'm going to end it here. There's going to be an episode 3, but we still have a whole lot more work to do with that. So yeah, there's going to be an episode 3 on this of us losing our minds. But like I said, I don't want this to be a 30, 40, 50-minute video of all that type of stuff. So there'll be an episode 3 of us losing our minds trying to get this finished up. It's very intricate work. We only have one shot at getting this right because, to be frank, I don't have a whole bunch of extra money to be replacing that piece of sheet metal. So with that, guys, look forward to episode 3 of Body Panel Work, Losing Our Minds. With that, we'll see you in the next one. Later.